phase change?
So a phase change is when we go from one phase to another, like from a solid to a liquid, or liquid to a gas, for example. So let's start with a solid, and we need to add some heat. So let's add some heat to maybe a Bunsen burner flame. And when we start to add heat to the particles of the solid, they're going to start to vibrate faster. And when they vibrate faster, they start to spread out, so they're further apart, and that's called expansion. And so the solid actually gets bigger, gets larger. And so then when we put more and more energy into the particles, the vibration gets so energetic that the attraction between the particles can no longer hold them in place in that fixed position. And so they get unstuck and allowed to move freely. This is what we call melting. Melting is the phase change going from a solid to a liquid. And of course, so in a liquid, the particles still have an attraction between them, but it's not as strong. So it allows the particles to freely flow over each other and form a liquid. So going from a solid to a liquid is called melting. And then when we add more energy, the particles vibrate more and more, and so some of the particles that are at the surface of the liquid, well, they escape, they actually break away from the liquid and become a gas. And that's the process that we call evaporation. Evaporation is the phase change going from a liquid to a gas. And it always happens on the surface. So the particles have more energy, and they're actually able to break away that attraction and turn into a solid. And that's called evaporation. So then, of course, that process goes backwards as well. When that gas becomes cooler and has less energy, the particles aren't vibrating as fast, and so the gap between the particles gets less and less until the particles are in contact with each other again, and that turns back into a liquid. And this is the process that we call condensation. Condensation is a phase change going from a gas back to a liquid. And that's when energy is taken away from the particles. They're not vibrating as fast, and they become in contact with each other again. Then going from a liquid to a solid, again, more energy is taken out. The substance gets cooler, and there's less energy in the particles, so they're not vibrating as fast. And again, the bond between the particles gets stronger again, and we turn back into a solid. And that's a process that we call freezing or solidification. And it then has this fixed shape again as a solid. So solid to liquid is called I'm melting. Liquid to a gas is called evaporation. And then going back the other way, from a gas to a liquid is called condensation, and a liquid to a solid is called freezing. And what's the Wicked Witch going to say now? And what did the Wicked Witch say here? Don't say anything. I'm evaporating. Good one. I'm evaporating. Yeah.
What does the witch say there?
I'm condensating.
Wicked Witch.
Okay, well done.